Alright, you guys, welcome to the Ranting Shop with me, Melissa. Today I'm going to be discussing Put a Ring on It Season 4, Episode 7, Family Ties. And we're gonna start off with Catherine and Ricky since we left off with them because Dr. Stacy, I suppose, was trying to get Ricky to really tell her how he felt and to also tell Catherine how he felt about the whole situation. And he was kind of playing tough, like, oh, I don't feel no way. And I feel like they kind of cracked him a little bit because the whole point is not to act as if, and Dr. Stacy said this as well, the whole point is not to act as if you can take things your partner does with zero like feeling and emotion. The point is to really say how you honestly feel about things, because that is essentially what their relationship needs. It needs for Catherine to know that Ricky feels a way about her. And like, if you in any type of relationship and you out with somebody else, your partner should feel a way, you know, especially when he knows he's not doing the things that you want him to do, but the guy you're with is visibly doing what you want him to do in front of your partner. There's no way you would not feel any way about that. So I knew he was lying. So she chose to go on another date with Marcus, obviously, and he chose to not go on another date with Sheila. And I feel like I saw that coming because it did look like a friendship. Like, and at that point, it doesn't make sense to continue on. So Catherine and Ricky go to see, well, Dr. Stacy comes in to visit, and what she wants to talk to them about was the fact that, you know, we saw Catherine really blow up on Ricky when it came to him talking about wanting space and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I understand where she is coming from, because imagine him telling her, oh, come live with me, come do this, come do that, and then she decides to literally just uplift her life and go and live with him wherever he is, drop all of her endeavors, all of her independence, just to be tied down to a guy you're not committed, like you're not in a marriage with, and but you're still doing all those like wife duties. I'm pretty sure she's cooking, I'm pretty sure she's cleaning, and she's taking care of his child. So I understand why she felt disrespected, you know. And basically Dr. Stacy was kind of like getting on her case, like oh, because of your past trauma, you're you know, showing this angry side to him. But I feel like her anger was justified. So Dr. Stacy came up with this alter ego named Smokey to describe Catherine when she's angry. And I just feel like it was a bit uncomfortable. And even with her referring to herself as Smokey and who Smokey is and where Smokey comes from, it was making me uncomfortable because it didn't come from her. It came from Stacy. Dr. Stacy. But basically, it's like a part of her childhood. Her mother is that way, where she's quick to anger and she doesn't care what she says it. Her mother seems to me that she's very much a grown child, and later on we come to find out some things about her mom. We learned that her mom was a teen mom, so that might play into her, I guess, immaturity as far as communicating is concerned. And of course, if Catherine grew up around her mom, she's gonna obviously replicate some of these behaviors. Not that it's fair to be reactionary in that way, but the thing is, it's not like we're seeing this like it's a habit of Catherine to do that. I feel like whenever she feels as if her side is not being heard, or it's being like talked over and nobody's listening to her, she gets to that point. So Catherine feels like if you don't come to her in a communicative way, a peaceful way, she's gonna come back at you in a crazy way, you know. And she had one of these occasions with Ricky, and she's like, instead of like engaging in it and making it escalate, I feel like it actually was mature of her to decide, you know what, let's not do this right now, and I guess come back to it at a later date. But Ricky, the way the way it is communicated to him is that She shuts him down when he has something important that he wants to say. But he also has to understand that it's about tone as well. If you're coming to deliver a point but your tone is off, fix that and then come talk to me. Don't come to me with your tone and think I'm going to just accept your words, because guys really and truly feel like it's not about tone, it's your words, which is ridiculous to me. Because if that tone coming across disrespectful, your words going to become disrespectful regardless. Alright, so they speak to Ricky about emotionally regulating. When you see she's not in a space to listen, understand that and come back to it with a different tone or a different way or a different, time or whatever. And also they suggested to him writing it down. Words have no anger if it's written down. Well, it kind of does, so to speak, but it's like less harmful when you just write it down. That way she'll read it and it would not come across as offensively. So as I said before, she had a meeting, I think, with her father and her grandmother. And basically the way they were describing her mom, she's like a loose cannon. She was a child mom and she never quite grew up. So it's kind of like she was trying to be an adult with a kid, but then she never ended up reaching to that point. And the dad seems a bit more mature, but the dad was out of her life for her entire life. So her just building a relationship with her dad is new. It's new. He wasn't there for most of her childhood. And by 14, a lot of your behaviors are already ingrained in you, like good or bad. And that's sad to see that he wasn't there to kind of help her, shape her, aid her in certain things. And she recognized that it's affected her relationships and stuff like that. So we got a bit of perspective from Catherine's family life. She said something important. She said her parents never made her feel like a child. And so I feel like with that type of growing up, you never get a chance to be vulnerable. And she even speaks to an example where she doesn't feel comfortable asking them for things. And typically when parents treat you like a kid, you feel comfortable asking for whatever you want. But because she was put in a very precarious situation, that is even hard for her to do. So I completely understand Catherine a bit more. So I feel like with that, let's move on to the other couples. Let's go to Jasmine and Z. So we come to find out that Jasmine brings up the fact that Z kind of disrespected her when the date came to the house, with him making reference to how beautiful the date was. And it's like, no disrespect. Even if you say no disrespect, it does not mean it's going to be received with no disrespect. That was disrespectful, period, for him to have done that. And she's addressing that, and then he's saying he doesn't want her to feel that he could do better without her, whatever the case may be. So they're discussing that with Dr. Stacy. So Jasmine said no to her date because she felt as if, yes, he was intellectual and they were awesome, but he's too nice for her. That's essentially what she was trying to say. He's too much of a goody two shoes for her. She needs some kind of thug. She needs you to be both. She needs you to be good, intellectual, but also to be a thug. That's what she said. And with Z, I think he decided to not go with the other woman, and I feel like it's because of that thing that he considered disrespect that she did that irritated him, and also the fact that according to him, like, the conversation wasn't flowing. And if you looked at the date, the reason why the conversation wasn't flowing was because he was too busy worrying about what Jasmine was doing. So I'm not surprised. So that happens. And then the next time we see them, Catherine is over there talking to her mom and her brother. And that was just so shocking for me to listen to, because typically whenever we listen to the mom who is reasoning with her daughter, she would normally tell the daughter, leave. especially in a situation where you're this person's live-in girlfriend and he's not proposed, there's no wedding ring, there's no engagement. I was thinking the mom would tell her to leave, but instead the mom is blaming Jasmine for her controlling ways and saying that basically she has to work on it. Okay, granted, she may be controlling because look, she even imposed a one drink, two drink minimum on Z. Yes, she has control issues, but she also brought up other things like the fact that she wants to be married. And she thought Z was going to propose to her, but instead of proposing, he gave her a promise ring, and she felt disrespected. And any woman would feel disrespected because how old are you? 6 years old? 5 years? Like, what is that? That is the equivalent to a ring pop. What is the purpose of that? And the mother, I thought the mother would also feel a way, but the mother is kind of like, give him time, give him time. Like, what time he needs? I thought the saying went that when a man knows, he knows. And when he knows, he's gonna do what he needs to do. I thought that was the saying, and I thought that's what she would say, but instead she's like, give him time. What time does he need? If a man knows that a woman is gonna be his wife or a woman will be his wife, he's gonna make it happen. He's gonna propose, he's gonna marry her ASAP. But for some reason he's dragging his feet. And for the mom to see that, I was kind of appalled, like, am I hearing this correctly? You know, like, she's literally conveying that whole promise ring thing embarrassed her, and the most you could see is it was a nice ring. Who cares? The meaning behind the ring is not the same. She wants to be engaged, she wants to be married, period. And she should have that if that's what she wants. When is a promise ring a huge thing? If you need more time to figure out if you want to marry somebody or not, just leave, because you don't need no time. Like, you're going to know. Okay? You're not going to need no time. Unless his finances he wants to get in order, which I don't think that is the case. But what time he need? Like, I'm so shocked at the mom had that mindset. So let's talk about the date Z had with the woman. Now, normally on Z's dates, I personally black out. Like, it's not interesting to me. I tend to not really care for his dates. But anyways, he went out with a flight attendant, which piqued his interest because I think he's interested in flying and being a pilot or whatever. So like, he was really into that conversation, kinda. And he spoke to his communication issues and the fact that that might be a key issue for him wanting to be a pilot, because he has issues with communication. He says he zones out when people talk in his head. Does he have attention deficit disorder? Does he have some type of behavioral disorder or some mental disorder? Because to me, that's the only thing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe she thinks he's doing it purposely, when really and truly it's something he can't help do. I don't know. Or maybe it's just that he doesn't really want to hear her talk in his ear, because guys like to do that. Z definitely has ADD, attention deficit disorder. Alright, last but not least, let's do Jasha and Joya. So, Jasha decided that, you know what, to ease up friction in his relationship, he's not gonna go out on another date with Brittany. Brittany was doing a whole lot and touching up on him and doing a lot of things that irritated Joya. And I feel like initially I thought he liked it, because to me last episode he was talking about he likes the fact that there's competition between them two, and Brittany was being like so competitive, and all of a sudden he doesn't like it. And I also think that is because now he knows that Joya didn't like it and she was serious about that. And so I think with that, it changed his tune, and so he's not gonna go out on another date with Brittany. As for Joya, the whole situation with the date she was on, basically giving Kevin Samuels talking points about he's a high value man and he's not really gonna do the single mother thing. Basically, it's like, it is what it is. So she's not gonna go out on a date with the same person. He's not gonna do it either. So let's get into the date Joya has with that cute man. So Joya is basically saying what she tells most of her dates, which is that she wants the relationship to move forward. Like, it's at a standstill. She wants a ring, she wants children, and Jasha has done that before. Jasha has been married. Jasha has had a kid. And I feel like with people that have already been married before, they feel like they don't want to go through all that drama and stress again. And I feel like part of his hesitance is a bit of PTSD from his failed marriage. And unfortunately, Joya is having to go through that innocently, because she never had to. I don't think she's ever been married, although she does have a child, so maybe she doesn't quite understand his hesitancy. It may just be fear of a potential divorce if he does get married. Like, everything could be great now. The moment you get married, things could hit the fan. Who knows what's gonna happen? And I just think he fears that. So I give him a little bit of grace with that. She's gonna have to decide whether she wants to continue dragging her feet along with him, or sacrifice what she wants to be with him, or they do it together. So she and the date ends up ordering the same exact meal. So the conversation ended up reaching on zodiac signs, and he's speaking about his water sign. He's a Scorpio. And then from there, the conversation moves on to sex and how Scorpios are sexual and stuff like that. And he's describing, what he does in the bedroom and stuff like that. And she wants to know more and stuff like that. And then they bond on their favorite bird, which is the flamingo, which is pretty cool. So I was happy to see that for once Joya has a great date, like an actual good date, because these other dates they've been putting Joya on have been upsetting me and my homegirls. Like, they couldn't find any cute people before to put her up on a date with. You know, the first one was, to me, too old for her, was giving off Mac Daddy vibe. The second one was too, I don't know, just didn't make sense for me. And then now the third one, finally they come up with somebody good for Joya. So Joya is talking to her sister about, the fact that she's at a standstill with Jasha. They get along really well. Their life is really good together. But the issue is, she wants marriage. She wants children. But he's not at that space yet. And to be honest with you, I don't know if he's ever going to get there through the course of the show. Honestly speaking, I don't think it's enough time to decide, okay, now I change my mind, I want children and I want marriage, so their relationship, I don't know how it's gonna go. But it's either you drag as I said before, it's either she drags her foot along with him to keep him happy or to keep being in that relationship, or she decides to go on her business and find somebody that wants what she wants at the time that she wants it. So they go to the lounge, and I'm just gonna talk about everybody's lounge experience because I didn't speak on it individually. So they all go to the lounge, and Jasmine and Z are talking, and she's basically saying, my mom is weird because she thinks I'm the problem for everything. She puts no blame on Z. Everything is my fault. And I'm so happy to hear Z defend her and say it's not you. It's because he knows he's messing up, and he knows that, yes, she's controlling, but it's only because she feels as if she cannot really, she feels helpless. Okay, so she does what she thinks she can do to gain some form of control, because if not, she's gonna feel crazy. I feel that's what it is. So to hear him kind of validate her in that sense, that's really good. So Zay's talking about his dates, and I feel like he's gonna go on another date with her, But I really didn't see the chemistry there. Maybe what it is just that he's fascinated by the fact that I think she's an air hostess, I think. And he wants to get into that field. Now, as for Miss Jasmine, so basically, Jasmine decided, oh, well, since my man wants to fly, I think, or I want him to date, or she was Googling him dating the lady for whatever amount of time so that he can benefit from whatever it is, some sky benefits, flying benefits. I have no clue. But that's just crazy to me to hear Jasmine say that. Like, girl. So Miss Catherine speaks about her daddy issues and her family problems and stuff like that. And you could really see that she wants it to work with Ricky so badly. And I just am not seeing that level of passion from Ricky. I'm only seeing it from Catherine. A lot of people are saying that Catherine and Ricky should break up because they're getting a lot of friend vibes from them, and they have been friends for a long time, so it wouldn't be out of the blue to like get that from their dynamic. I just hope that Ricky, comes along, because it's clear that she wants it. I just don't know if he wants it too. And he says that, the anger issues is what's giving him pause. And I guess she's gonna try working on it, perhaps, but I don't know. Maybe other things are giving him pause, because in the beginning, he didn't say it was anger issues. He said it was the fact that he was already married and didn't want to go through it again. So let's see. So Jasia talks about her dates and the fact, Joya, sorry, and the fact that they have all these things in common, and they're like, she finally went on a successful date, and then you see in Jasia give like these facial expressions and things like that. So I feel like for the first time out of all these dates that Joya's gone on, this one I think has probably shook him a bit, because now he can see the potential for her to go in that direction. Before, I feel like he kind of knew she wasn't gonna, like, the other guys were not competition for him, but this guy could potentially be, and I think that kind of scares him a bit, whether he likes to admit it or not. So next week we see Catherine go out on a date with Marcus, and Marcus is saying all the right things, and like, I'm not sure if he's doing this to stay longer on the show, or if he's doing it because he's genuinely interested in Catherine. And that's the scary thing. It's like, the only way to find out is when the show ends and you see for yourself what happens after that. A lot of the time, these people say one thing in front of the cameras, and the moment real life sets in, all of a sudden they're too busy, all of a sudden they have no time. So it's just a scary situation, just because it's so uncertain. So Joya's date gives her a gift, and then we see Jasia's date. They gave him someone that looks just like Joya. According to him, they look alike. They don't really look alike. They might be light skin, but that's probably the only thing, and slim built, but that's the only common thing. But they gave Jasia a woman that looks or is similar to Jasia. So now the heat is gonna be on, because I think these two dates are true contenders. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think that now the heat is getting really hot with Jasia and Joya because they gave them two final dates that are pretty good? Not final dates, but you could tell they're gonna stick around a bit longer. And tell me what you think about Catherine and Ricky, and tell me what you think about Miss Z and Miss Jasmine in the comment section below. Thank you guys. Bye. Like and subscribe.